What's up, everybody? This is Sunday Night Spotlight, Wrestling Republic's own, where we spotlight the best of the week. And I'm stoked to get into it because we've got the Tuesday night crew on Sunday night. It doesn't get any better. Twice in 1 week, and I didn't even ask. It just worked out this way, which I'm really fired up about. I'm going to send it out first. Introducing my friend. I'm Clark Taylor, by the way, if you didn't know who I was. To the DMV. Get your twos up. It's the Tuesday Night Delight. It's Shoddy. How are you?
Throw them deuces up. And I am good, bro. We are currently recording this almost Saturday morning. Will probably technically be the time it gets done recording. But it's Friday night, man. And it has been a eventful week of professional wrestling. So I'm excited to spotlight what we going to spotlight.
I am too, my friend. And I also have to give you credit because I think I've done close to 50 shows with you wearing an Eagles hat. And you've not one time ever hit like a bang, bang, bird gang or anything lame like that. And I respect it so much. You are the best Eagles fan I know, Shad, and I want to give you credit for that. Speaking of spotlighting things, you deserve that spotlight. But obviously,
I appreciate that. I don't like the notion that a lot of Eagles fans have. I ain't that crazy. It's football.
We can't start Sunday Night Spotlight without the guy in Louisville. That remind me what it is again, Driz?
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. It's your boy Dryzzy, aka Plug Funny, the wrestling plug. If you don't know what to watch, I don't know what to tell you, but I do got it for the cheap. Oh man, it has been a long week. I'm ready to. I have some stuff on my mind. We gotta get it out there. We gotta go. We gotta get it going.
Absolutely. Let's start spotlighting and highlighting things. That's what we do on this show. That's every Sunday night. Shoddy, we're going to start with you. This is a classic. It's not just a versary, it's an anniversary.
Yeah.
Talk to me about one of the most legendary rivalries ever on the anniversary of the outset.
Yeah, man. So obviously, this is Sunday Spotlight. I like to emphasize and spotlight newer talent, up and coming talent, so on and so forth. But I was just on Twitter earlier today scrolling, and I noticed that the date was December 6th, which is a very important day. 20 years ago, might I add, 2004, Monday Night Raw, the first ever women's main event on Monday Night Raw. And might I add you, it happened in 2004, which shows you how much we need to, continue to keep growing and pushing for women's superstars, because that's a long time until we got a women's main event on a Monday Night Raw. But it is arguably one of the best women's feuds of all time. Two women that I would not be mad if you have them on your Mount Rushmore, because they're probably on my Mount Rushmore. Lita versus Trish Stratus. Phenomenal, quick 10-minute match, I want to say, which was a lot of time, but they closed the show out on Monday Night Raw. Incredible rivalry bringing into it, a scary spot for Lita, hitting the dive out there. People thought she messed up her neck, but hitting with the twist of fate, winning the match. And man, it was a phenomenal showdown. I remember watching it when I was a little kid, like 12 years old. It's crazy how time flies, but I wanted to spotlight it more so to kind of give my appreciation and love to both of these phenomenal icons in pro wrestling, man. I had an opportunity to meet Lita and Trish Stratus in April of this year at GalaxyCon in Richmond, Virginia. I got to ask them a question on the little panel. I got to do a meet and greet with Trish Stratus, and their rivalry, in my mind, kind of sets the tone of what we do have today with women's wrestling. Obviously, you got to pay homage to all the women that were doing it in the 80s and the 90s, but for us, the generation that we watch, man, the end of the Attitude Era going into the Ruthless Aggression Era, these were just two icons, man. They were pivotal parts in so many storylines with some of the biggest superstars like the Rocks, the Hardys, the Edges, and all that in that way. But they were also immense rivals versus each other, man. They had so many matches against each other, so many great, back and forths where one or the other came up on top. And you got to appreciate that, because if we don't get that, we don't get the rivalries that we see with a Becky Lynch and the Charlotte Flair, a Bianca and the Sasha Banks, a Rhea Ripley and the Liv Morgan. Like, they really set the tone for it, and they set the tone for allowing us to get main event matches with women's, man. So, you got to always pay homage to the people that put in the work, the groundwork, the roots to let the tree grow. And much love to Lita and Trish Stratus. I must say, I don't know who got the Fountain of Youth, but Trish Stratus and Lita got it. They both look absolutely stunning still to this day. They ain't age anything in the 20 years from when they wrestled. Like, Trish might look even like better in shape now. Like, she just had the fitness magazine thing too.
Trish Stratus is like stuck in a time machine. Like, she's just like, she's just stuck. She's the same age she's always been. She's I don't know that she's ever had a birthday.
She's a vampire. She's a vampire.
She had to have been born on a leap year.
Sweet person too, man. She I told my wife at the signing, I was like, I just want you to know, this was my first ever crush as a kid. So, but
everybody had a poster of Trish Stratus on their wall at one point in time. They have something with Trish Stratus in their stuff, whether it's video game loading screens or any of that.
One of the biggest things too, and you brought it up and you broke it down perfectly, that you spotlighted though, is the importance of this being a women's main event on Monday Night Raw in an era where that just didn't happen. It didn't. And like, yes, Lita and Trish are both timeless, and for a reason. And that's not like a Tony Storm reference or anything like that. Just they're two of the best to ever do it. And there's no doubt about that. Like, it's really cool to have those two names etched in history in this moment. Like, when it comes to main eventing a Monday Night Raw, longest running episodic cable television show I've heard of my whole life. It has been for a long time. They're going to Netflix. That's going away. But at a moment in time where this wasn't possible, it became because of Lita and Trish, and that's really cool. I'm glad you spotlighted it, Shad. No question.
And it's also one of Raw's most iconic matches. Not just the fact that it's the first women's match, but it was a really, really good match.
Yes.
I have the Raw anthology DVD, like the best of Raw, and it went all the way to like I think 2009, 2010 maybe, and that was one of their highlight matches on there. That just about how good it was. So
yes. Oh my gosh, I have the same DVD.
It's one thing for it just to be the first, but for it to also be one of the most iconic because of how good it is, it just shows how much like what women's wrestling could have been. And I really believe that was one of the matches that was the catalyst for the way NXT runs. Had they started treating their women in NXT, because that's where the real bread and butter of women's wrestling came from for the longest time, when they started pulling in like Emma, Paige, Charlotte Flair, Natalya, all them. Yeah.
Okay, but seriously, is that the DVD collection that comes with like the three different little boxes, and then there's the last one is the top 50 Raw moments. Right? And then you get all the best of Raw. You get the matches for like the first 3 DVDs, the 3 discs, and then the 4th bonus disc is the top 50.
Actually,
moments.
I have it right here. Let me look real quick.
I'm not even sure.
You got it on him right now. Let's go.
Curious. Yes, I'm super curious, only because I think I have the same one. It's like,
but
it's hilarious.
To Drizzy's point, though, man, it definitely is a what if situation, because I mean, obviously, we saw these women wrestle not too long ago. I would love to see Trish or Lita get a one last reign and mix it up with the women that are on the main roster. Like Trish just had an interview talking about Nia Jax. She said, I can't say I'm fully retired if I ain't get thrown like a rag doll by Nia Jax, type of situation. They still in tune, bro. So like I want to see them, mix it up a little bit.
Shows how old it is. This is the first one that came out. It's not the second one that you were talking about, Clark. But it's the first one that has just the best of Raw from '93 to 2008, and it is indeed, in fact, 3 discs.
It's 3 discs. So mine, there's a bonus disc version that I have, and the last disc is the top 50 one. And you'll laugh at this. My dog stepped on it, so it's like the disc is cracked. I kept the disc. It looks like a pizza. It's not ideal. It's not ideal.
It even has like the 30 different phases of Raw, because it's the original Raw's War, then Ruthless Aggression Raw, and then PG Raw.
I don't want to reach back and find it mid-show here because honestly, we could pretty much talk about that kind of stuff all day.
And looking at just some of the things that are on it,
is it good?
It is, and
I do have. Wait, hang on 1 second, Driz. Hold it down for 1 second.
We could pause the show too.
No, we're not.
No, we're doing this live.
No, this is live.
So the fans can see.
Like, there's some good stuff on there. Like Cena's draft is on here. The Iron Man.
Oh match. Man, I remember Cena's draft, bro.
Where Shawn Michaels turned down Hogan, Kane and Lita's wedding.
This is my original go-to. Most unusual matches VHS.
Oh wow,
Jesus Christ!
That's the one. And then I got Rumble '97 on VHS that I stole from Blockbuster. Still have the tag on it.
Blockbuster doesn't need it.
They didn't need it back.
Clark, you're the reason that Blockbuster went out of business.
It's my fault.
Because you're not returning your videos.
Yeah.
We don't have Blockbuster now because Clark does not return his videos.
I got that and I got No Way Out at 1 too. Also from Blockbuster, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's talk about more current wrestling though. Let's keep it rolling. Let's spotlight another one. Let's keep the spotlight shining. Let's do it on the Continental Classic this time, because you know what? How often do you see something that everybody makes fun of for like a whole year? They're like, no, I don't like it. I don't get it. I don't like the whole thing. And then the next year, the same thing is about to happen again. And everyone's like, you know what? This is kind of sweet. And that's what the Continental Classic has become. It deserves to be spotlighted this week. It's awesome. I love it. The blue bracket is great. The gold bracket is great. We got Kyle Fletcher. We got Claudio. Both 2 wins. But we have stacked brackets. Shelton Benjamin, 1-1. I mean, Daniel Garcia. We got Will Ospreay. We got Brody King. We got Darby. We got Okada. Mordos. The matchups are off the charts. It's good, high-quality wrestling. And it's fun. And the storylines that are going to come out of it are going to be excellent. And so as much as last year it was like, what is this? And there's this belt and stop it. And I don't like this. And I don't like the tournament. And I don't like this. And I don't like that. All of a sudden this year, maybe it works. And I got to give respect where it's due. It is working so far. And I'm curious to see what happens. Every match has been good. Complaints or not, tournament style wrestling is a staple. If you watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, if you watch multiple other promotions outside of the United States, you're going to see tournament style wrestling. You're going to see matchups on guys that don't necessarily hate each other for a particular reason, but the motivation is to win, to advance, survive and advance. There's something to that. It's visceral, it's combat, and I love it. I'm stoked about the Continental Classic this year. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah. What I like a lot about this year's one is that I think they picked a good group of dudes on both blocks for the gold and the blue, where you kind of want to watch every match. And the the beauty of it is even tonight they gave us Okada versus Mark Briscoe, Ricochet versus Commander, right? Like they're jam packing some good matches throughout all the products. It's not all the dope ones on Dynamite and then some of the N ones on Rampage and Collision. They're giving you a reason to want to watch these shows every day. And for your point, we're big sports fans. We love March Madness, right? It feels kind of like a bit of March Madness with these tournaments when they do create it. When New Japan does it with their round robin stuff too. Obviously, different type of tournament, but it's interesting, man. And like, it's just good, amazing pro wrestling, man. This is the reason I love AEW is because the mantra is we're the best wrestler. That's what they, acquitted themselves to be. But I mean, when you peel back the layers, you got to appreciate it. They got some guys who are some of the best professional wrestlers in the entire world, belt for belt.
Yeah.
And they give them an opportunity to see some great matches.
And that's where, like, to me, Shad, you brought up a great point there too. And Driz, I want to get your thoughts on it as well. Because, like, for example, you can look over at the Blue League, right? And you have the Beast Mordos, right? You got to write a heck of a story to have the Beast Mordos cross paths with Okada.
Yeah.
Unless it's required via tournament. And then all of a sudden, you have that tantalizing matchup. And it should change your perspective when you're watching that match. They don't have to get you there. It's a part of this tournament. It's a part of a larger goal. And I think it didn't land last year. Maybe it was a timing issue. I'm not totally sure why, because I thought it was well executed even last year. But this year it stands out because it's exciting as could be. Drizzy, what are your thoughts on that? And are there any matchups you're looking forward to?
This is my style of thing. Like, I've always loved tournament style. That series round robin style wrestling. Even when I was younger, I made my own up just because I knew it wasn't a big thing here. And as I got older, I just realized it was because WWE and WCW were the standard and they didn't do it. If they did, it's it's March Madness style, single elimination, top 16, or in WWE case, top 8 go, and you just go down till you get to the final from there. I've always had a love for when they do the series style. My favorite one, TNA, and I thought it was done brilliantly with TNA when they had the Bound for Glory series, which created stars. This is how you got the Eli Drakes. This is how they broke up Beer Money and made them both into two legitimate single stars. Like, this is where you build that. And even now this year, when you have guys like Kyle Fletcher, who's already on a roll, this is just gonna add to the lore even more. Like, everything does not have to be this big, long, drawn out story. Sometimes you just gotta have some tournaments. You'll see combinations that you never thought of. You're like what you said with Beast Mordos and Okada, things that you would never in a million years see against each other, and it just happens because they're in the same block. It's like a what if, like a Marvel what if, basically. And you just answer questions and things like that.
It's visceral. You broke that down perfectly. It's a visceral deal. It's like, right? Like, we just saw Gladiator 2 come out. But if you think about Gladiator 1, right? You don't get to choose your opponent, right? There's no storyline on who's going in there. Like, it's not like that. And there's something enticing about that that I think is missing sometimes in pro wrestling, about like this is a perfect example. What's the line we all hung on Monday? Like, Punk said he doesn't think about Seth Rollins. Oh, got him. Right? So what do we want now? Punk to have to fight Seth Rollins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? But in a tournament scenario,
you have
to fight.
Yeah.
Right? If you end up stuck, you're stuck.
Yeah.
And that as a device to advance storytelling in AEW, and what I love the usage of it. I love the format. I love the way that they've done both blocks this year. I think it's really, really, really underrated, and it's been under talked about. Now, here's one other thing though, because we're gonna have to move on to our next segment here. Because Drizzy, the only thing about this segment that I'm disappointed in is that, and bless YouTube, I love YouTube. Thank you for everything for us being on YouTube. But I just wish we could play the horns so we could all dance to introduce this segment for the new day. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Spotlight via Drizzy. Wait a minute. Make sure I click. Yep, that's the right one. Driz, spotlight the new day for us.
So I know a lot of people watch Saturday, Monday, and very upset, sad. Um, it was a very traumatic thing for me to watch. And I watched it as a fan first. I did not watch it as somebody podcasting to talk about it later. Originally wasn't even supposed to be my thing for this week, but it was such a pivotal item because this is the tag team equivalent of John Cena turning heel. The New Day could do no wrong, and you almost one of I think I said in the moment that it's is one of the single greatest turns in wrestling history, and not one punch was thrown. Um, I've went back and watched it a few times now since it originally happened. The first one happened. I'm sad, tears were in my eyes, and it. But that's as a fan. Watching it back as just someone admiring the art, and I have to applaud everybody involved in this. So, Big E, Kofi, and Xavier, it's just the strength of nobody else could have pulled this off. The strength of the performance between all three of these guys, and because you know their bonds, you know how they are outside of it, for them to truly feel to sell you that pain of Big E breaking his neck and not possibly not having wrestling anymore, he went to look other places. Why the other guys are like, "Oh, you'll be back," and he didn't turn back around for them. He didn't look back for them. He went on. He started doing the pre-shows. He started dating. He bought a house with his newfound girlfriend. He got settled in a new life, but did not look back to his brothers who were struggling. Like it's always been with the New Day an all for one and one for all thing. Whenever Kofi was hurt, it was still New Day, New Day, New Day. When Xavier was hurt, New Day, New Day, New Day. Big E gets hurt, and he's not New Day, New Day, New Day. He's Big E, Big E, Big E. So I understand it. Like they all are. It's honestly a credible thing. Like they all have legitimate arguments. It's I know everybody initially wants to be like, how could you say that to E? How could you be like that? But when you are in a team that has always been, it's all for one and one for all, and you don't do the one for all, like
Yeah.
they're credible in it. And I definitely, and again, I have to sell you because reading back the transcripts of what they said, if you just reading it back, you're looking at it like
Scary.
there's no way they really said that. He said Stone Cold Steve Austin broke his neck. He said Kurt Angle broke his neck with a broken won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck, and you couldn't come back for us when you broke your neck. Reading that
Even
back,
name drop
it
Edge.
yeah, you know they don't like doing that in WWE. But
Ooh,
but
you're in trouble.
when they do that, when you read that back, you're like, there's no way they said that. So it's something that only you can hear and truly feel it to understand what they're really saying. All three of them incredible performers. I for that segment is an all-time Raw segment and is amazing. Please keep. I'm interested in where this story goes.
So I have two questions for you, Driz. In
Yes.
Vegas, would you say we see Powder or Wale first?
I think we're gonna
Then
get
we
Wale.
pay this off.
I think we might get Wale. I
That
really
was
don't think
my
they were
thought
gonna
coming out
go
of
any
it.
further at this unless
You think we see any
Can't
shot?
stand Wale.
I really think we're gonna get Wale. Like, y'all
I-
want to go big? Well, let's
Dude,
say
it's
that.
gonna be it's that song. And Shad, you know? You don't
He's
think
he's from the DMV. I must like Wale.
No. I'm not asking about Wale.
I'm messing
asking
around.
about Biggie.
Me
I
and
know
Wale
that.
had an argument on Twitter, so I always hold a grudge against him.
Oh yeah,
A
no,
while
I'm on Shad's
couple
side
years
then.
ago. But I spoke briefly about it on the Tuesday Daily with Jordy, and I kind of just reshare some of my thoughts. I haven't been more, invested in the heel turn maybe since like Michaels and Jannetty, or maybe KO when he turned on Jericho. I guess is the more recent one. But like I thought this was beautifully done. It was so left field. Like I was watching it with my wife, and she literally was crying a little bit because she felt so bad for Big E in the moment of what was going on, right? And she read obviously coming off of the Brinks of the Players Tribune article, which was amazing that he wrote. Like it just you felt every emotion going into it, but it's genius in a way where I gotta be honest, Kofi and Woods post Big E injury have been in a funk, right? They haven't been given an opportunity to do a lot of stuff, not blaming them, but just creatively a lot hasn't been going with them. And a lot of the shtick has kind of been, it's just the New Day. Like it's kind of similar to what I see with the Street Profits, right? We love them because we love them, but there's not the battery being pushed for them or nothing new for it. Now you just do a new fresh paint, right? They're like new characters now. They're brand new characters.
But I also did a little bit of digging. This storyline has been in the works for a while.
Yeah.
They're saying it's a part of the Karrion Cross effect, where when he comes across you, that he changes you. But it even goes to before that happened. When he who must not be, I don't know, are we calling him that? Do we say his name?
Oh yeah. I mean, we can talk about.
Well, originally we're not gonna act like it didn't exist, y'all.
Lowercase e.
Guys.
Lowercase e. We'll call him that.
The big guy.
Yeah, when he was originally in this, he was supposed to be involved in this, and it was one of those. You guys are either gonna have to pick E or you're gonna have to pick Odyssey.
Odyssey.
I gotta be real, bro. You know how much of a bum and fool you gotta be for you to just completely be that much of a dipshit to ruin your chance in WWE, right? Like just be that much of like, oh my god, bro. They were about to push. He was about to be part of the biggest story line in one of the biggest storylines, bro.
Yeah, and it's just impossible to be a decent human being. It's impossible for him, and it's impossible for him to be a decent human being.
Yeah, it's not. It's that was a big fudge up. Yeah. More than what big one. That was a.
But this storyline
that big
is
big.
Yeah.
This storyline is.
You want to go big? Say that.
And if this is what we all really, really, really want, it deserves this giant moment. This might. I'm hoping and praying it's what it means, what we think it means.
What if he?
What if
it's the big beginning?
Return?
What if he turns the big ending into the big beginning? What if, for one moment, the power of positivity prevails?
Yep.
Even Shad gets behind a Wale segment, despite their Twitter beef.
I was trolling him and he got so mad, bro. I was probably like 19 at the time. It's funny. Wale cool though.
Years old.
That's 13 years
Well
ago,
before he
bro.
did the NXT song, the Big E song.
Yeah, bro. Way before he was hosting the
This
rap
is
battle and all that.
decades old, dude. Was
Yo,
Wall-E even out the movie? Because I
Wally
don't
came
know
out
how
before
Wale
that.
didn't sue.
Nah, it was Wally was I watched Wally when I was
Always
like
thought about
13,
that.
bro.
That has to be a conflict of interest.
I watched that when I was 13. No, Wale, I remember when Wale first dropped,
Actually,
bro,
it might have been at about
when
the
he
same
had like
time. Actually,
That's what I'm saying, Triz. I've
I
been
they
thinking
might
this
think
my
actually
so.
came
whole
out.
life.
I
How
think
did
they might
Wale
have.
and Wale not get mad at each other?
I feel like that might have
Wally.
been back when Nike boots came out.
That's the beef we never got. I feel like
Before
we
that.
lost one in pop culture. Not to take it away from wrestling, but I'm just saying, guys.
Okay,
Nah,
let me take a look at something.
Wale
Wale
cool, bro.
versus Wale. I mean,
I've
that could
seen
be.
Wally came.
I've seen him perform a few times in the area. Like he's definitely a staple to the DMV hip hop
I
scene.
can't lie. The only good thing about NXT 2.0 was Downtown's like that was
Yeah,
good.
he's
It was fun.
He's a good rapper, bro. He's a good
I
rapper,
enjoyed
man.
it. It worked.
I just think he's kind of he's a good music artist. I just think he's
So
he's just a
I got years.
cornball person, bro.
I got the years. Wale came out 2006. Wale came out 2008. It's just
Dude,
Wale
that's what I'm
blew
saying.
up at the same time the movie blew up.
That's the beef that we needed. That's the beef that we needed with
I got
Wally
the
versus Wale.
I picked the robot, bro.
That's fair. I don't blame you. I'm just saying.
Nah, I like Wale. Plus we give
I like
Wale
Wale.
Mania. He gives us Wale Mania and stuff like
It's
that.
hard. So this is the thing. I can't hate on him because he does so much for wrestling now. But like,
Yeah.
he's
He
like I
him
can't
was
shake
mean
off.
he was mean to 19-year-old child on Twitter. That's fair.
like him and West Side Guns bridge that gap between hip hop and
That
wrestling.
was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fourth wall, bro. I
Dude,
mean,
all the West Side Gun stuff's been good.
West Side Gun, like those heels have eyes cards. He be dropping a fire. He has
By
like
the way,
fire
Swerve
matches.
deserves a little bit of credit with like the big Swerve hip hop wise has been trying to at least push that as much as I mean, right?
Yeah.
Nah.
And
you know who deserves the most credit is AJ Francis, bro.
Oh, I would agree. No
Yes.
doubt. By the way,
I'll
yeah.
give
Sorry,
that.
Shad, 100%. Yes.
Like you add it's West Side Guns, it's
no hate on
Wale.
Swerve, but
We'll add Swerve, Leo Rush, B-Fab, AJ Francis. Like all of them are that connection of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. They bridge that gap.
Bro, Jade had she had freaking Bow Wow in a storyline that never got paid off, unfortunately.
That was nuts.
Like
Shad Moss. Not Shad Khan, not Shad Huda, but Shad Moss.
Shad Moss. By the way, no, it's still Lil Bow Wow to me.
Lil Bow Wow. You just don't know.
No, just because I'm a Mike fan.
Nah, but I hold AJ Francis at the top because bro really battled the saga. He battled a URL battle rapper as a pro wrestler on a pro wrestling card. Dude. That win, lose, or draw, he stood in a ring with one of the best battle rappers in the world, and he's not a battle rapper. He's a rapper, but battle rapping is so different than practical hip hop. We're some of the most creative, smart writers in the world. And he took the time, and he has some haymakers and all that, bro. That's he's doing that as a wrestler, and then he has he got Bun B on Impact TNA first. People don't give him that credit, man. West Side Gun is also at them shows.
Well,
he had Black Boy JB was on TNA Impact too, right? Bro.
Yeah.
Dude, AJ and Bun B, no less.
Yeah, he had Bun B on there too.
Yeah,
he had Bun B first.
And the best thing about AJ is, and he gets no credit for this, but he went full Nick Cage and did, Unfound Treasures or whatever as the host, stood next to all the Hall of Famers and like stole the whole show. The
Yeah.
guy's multi-talented. AJ Francis knows what he's doing.
Yep.
He is, man. He's that dude. But Swerve is definitely, I'll say this, Swerve is he's kind of the wrestler that has that like cool factor that we look in rappers.
No doubt.
In a wrestler. But to me, Swerve is not just I feel like a lot of that mantra is just off of the hit row stuff. Like to me, I love Super Heel Swerve when he first got into NXT. He was beating the hell out of Leon Ruffin and all that stuff.
Am I the only one that noticed that Swerve may have visited Randy Orton's doctor this week?
Man, we talked about that on the Dynamite show.
I'm just saying. I mean, Swerve.
I mean, he got that bit. He got. Look, bro. He got over market value by some people.
Him.
So he can pay for that now.
But I mean, he's
not saying I think he got over market value. I think he's paid worth any penny he gets. But yeah. You get them big bucks, man.
He definitely earned it. He definitely earned it.
Swerve is comfortably a top 5-10 wrestler and like superstar in the world right now.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, absolutely. And I think he found a nutritionist who gave him particularly good advice. That's all I'm going to say about that one. I think.
You know what it is, right? You know who it is? It's Big Boom AJ. It's Big Boom AJ, bro.
He's getting the
He hit him with the double chunk chocolate cookie.
He's got him with the protein powder.
Probably got like a billion like steaks from Costco, bro. Anyways, let's get to the highlights of the week.
Let's go. Let's do the highlights of the week. Do you want to do your highlight first, Shoddy?
Yeah. Actually, I do, man. I do gotta give my highlight of the week. Literally happened like maybe an hour and a half ago, and it was on Friday Night SmackDown, and it was a just absolute banger TV match. Bianca Belair versus one of the most underrated women's wrestlers out there, Miss Piper Niven. Yo, these two ladies tore the roof out in Minnesota, bro. This is awesome chance. Bianca playing a lot off of the bruised ribs coming from the War Games match, but Bianca was on 10 tonight, bro. The athleticism, just picking back up with the hurt ribs, trying to get Piper down and out, and the dopest finish, man. Chelsea trying to come in and cheat, knocking Chelsea out, and then getting Piper and hitting the KOD on Chelsea Green. Like, it was such a dope finish. It's just a reminder, bro. Bianca Belair is like a generational talent. And I know people in the comments are like, why do you always use that term? It's so overused. Man, shut up. She's a generational talent. She is one of one. She is one of them ones. And it makes me just really be like, damn, I can't wait for her to win a world title again because she's amazing. So, yeah. Bianca Piper match of the week.
Bianca and Piper. Honestly, the fact that you did this to me, knowing I'm on the West Coast, so I have to watch this recorded after this show, is remarkable because I can't imagine the match was bad. Driz, if you got any thoughts on the match, help me out on that. But I will say, Bianca, go Vols. Before you go, Driz, I had to say that.
First off, I'm trying to sit there and think. I couldn't tell you the last time I seen Bianca or Piper Niven in a bad match. Piper Niven has been amazing in ring, even to before she got to WWE when she was Viper. Mm-hmm. She's always been a slept on talent, and I don't.
Wait, she was Viper.
Yes,
Viper Niven in Stardom.
Are you sure it wasn't Viper? Sorry, shout out Ben Allison.
Not no. That's how like I said, that's how I even learned about Piper was over in the UK. She's always been a great wrestler, and just putting her in the ring with Bianca makes it you're printing money at this point.
You are.
So I'm not surprised. I wasn't surprised at all that it was such a good match. And every time they get in the ring, it's a good time. It's a good match every time.
I do have to say one thing. Anytime, because Bianca Belair deserves to be spotlighted, but anytime we talk about Piper Niven, as we've mentioned, Viper, I didn't even know she was Viper on the Indies. It's not Vipper Niven. It's not Pipper Niven, Ben. It's never been Pipper Niven. Pipper? Like, what is that's not even a name. That's some sort of made up something else. It's Piper Niven. I've been saying this the whole time, and I really am glad that we were able to use this segment to clear that up for the entire audience. That was important to me, Shad, and I do apologize because it is important that we spotlight both Bianca Belair and Piper Niven like you did there, because it was, like you said, one of the best matches of the week, and Bianca is nothing short of sublime. Drizzy, I'm going to go to you next for your highlight of the week because I got to
My
hear it.
as Shaz happened about maybe an hour and a half ago. Mine, at the time of the recording of this, has not officially happened, but will happen Saturday night. Ashe Wrestling will crown its first ever Ashe Men's World Champion. And it's a one night tournament, and I believe there's also a couple other matches, but it's their anniversary show. Ashe Wrestling has been around 1 year now. The brainchild of Darius Lockhart, the revolutionary Darius Lockhart. Just a incredible promotion, probably telling one of the best stories in wrestling now, and I mean all of wrestling. Better than anything that WWE, AEW, MLW, TNA, Stardom, Marigo, in New Japan. It's my favorite story of all time right now between Darius Carter and Ashe Wrestling. That definitely has been the driving force over this last year, and I just want to make sure everybody go buy the stream. Well, it's gonna happen. Go back and watch it when the streams come out for it, because you're going to see a lot of great wrestlers that you have not heard of. You're also going to see a lot of great wrestlers that deserve to be spotlighted more. Some that we have actually spoken about on this show, from the Billy Dixons, Darius Carter, uh, Alexis Littlefoots, they all have been in this promotion, but it's the 1 year anniversary. Happy anniversary, Ashe Wrestling, and congratulations to Darius Lockhart for 1 year of service in Ashe.
100%. And Drizzy, I got to tell you, man, I really feel like it's so refreshing since this whole WWEID thing has started. There's been a lot of like conjecture and whatnot about the independent scene and a lot of like negative talk. And to hear positivity about a promotion like you just delivered is so refreshing when it comes to pro wrestling. Driz, like, yeah, like, give it to us one more time. What do we need to not miss?
Do not miss it. It is Ashe. Hold on, let me get the actual thing up for it, because it is Ashe Wrestling's 1 year anniversary, and it will be Saturday night in Charlotte, I believe. See, now when I need it to work, it doesn't want to work for me. Bingo. It is Ashe Wrestling's 1 year anniversary, Saturday, December 7th at 7 p.m. 1 year of service. Darius Lockhart, Big Time Yaya, all types of wrestlers that you may not have seen, and wrestlers that you need to see. This is going to be some of the best wrestling you've seen, And also one of the best stories in wrestling currently going on right now between Darius Carter
Carter.
and Ashe Wrestling.
Boom.
So don't miss it. In fact, if you go to AsheWrestling.com, I believe you can buy the replays of it as it comes out. I'm going to be buying the shows and watching it live as I'm watching Deadline. So boom.
I'm in. I love it. I'm stoked. Okay, Shoddy and Driz, are you guys ready for my highlight of the week? Because honestly, I have to give Shad credit. You're muted, Shad, but I have to give you credit, Shad. You bestowed me with this one because it is the highlight of the week, I feel like. It's the one. It's of all of the highlights, it's the highlight. It's the highlight of highlights, right? The H of H. Jada Parker saw Lola Vice and said, ring ropes, don't care. Said curse words, don't give a S-H-I-T. Got him, I spelled it. It's on. Elbow. Take that, kid. It was ugly. It was ugly in the prettiest way possible because we have Jada Parker standing on business in the middle of the ring, cutting one of the promos of the week. Not even close. Standing on business against Lola Vice. Lola Vice is an absolute certified knock you out artist. She's as good as they make them. Her striking is off the charts. You can look up her highlights on YouTube. That's a fact. Jada Parker put her in the mud. They've got OTM. She put her in the mud with that elbow after she ran her mouth about it. And that's what's up. That's what Jada Parker's about. And I loved it. Did not care. Find me. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Find me. Make the network bleep it. Edit the show. Doesn't matter. Jada Parker puts it on Lola Vice. This underground match, I'm now particularly excited for because it's going to be my favorite 90s throwback. Ken Griffey Jr. 97 slugfest between two sublime talents, and Jada proved she doesn't just belong, she wants to be there. And that was my favorite thing about this one. That's why it's my highlight of the week. Jada Parker with the elbow, with the forearm, whatever you'd like to call it. They just made 12-6s legal in MMA. We might see one of those in underground. I'm stoked about it. What were you guys' thoughts on that one?
Man, you want to go first? You want me to go first? I think it's confident to say, the GOAT is out at the moment, so we're not gonna put her on the list. She's being a mom. I think Jada Parker might be the best woman on the mic in pro wrestling right now. That may not be an exaggeration. I don't think there's a lot of women touching her on the mic in this current juncture of time. You talk about the confidence, you talk about the believability, you just talk about the pure stage presence. She's got capital I, capital T, like the job that I do, IT. She's got it, bro. She's got an immense amount of talent on top of just what she does in ring wise and physically. She's super gifted. She's one of these women that are coming from the PC that's definitely going to pop. How I felt Tiffy Time was going to blow up when she got to the main roster. I think Jada Parker will blow up when she gets to the main roster. It's just undeniable. And her and Lola low-key is one of the best women's feuds in wrestling. Just feuds in general, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, though, Shad, the brilliance of Jada Parker, they had to bleep half the promo. But we all knew what she said because of the body language. Because of
you heard her say it, though.
Because of the I mean, live you did, but like,
Live, you heard it. Yeah, the clips they bleeped it, but like I heard her say,
Oh,
she had to
I
be
oh
heard
yeah,
it.
virgin.
I heard
Yeah,
it from the moment she came out.
yeah.
And it's the promos that make you feel. You felt the anger, you saw the irritation, and she let it fly. She just let it go. I think that when you have somebody who knows how to convey emotions that well, this is not something you normally see in NXT. You don't get promo. I'm gonna go as far as say this is a promo of the year thing, and this is the first one she's had all year. Jada Parker has been a walking viral clip from the moment she came out. All from the moment she came out for the breakout tournament at the beginning of the year, all the way to now. She punched out Roxanne Perez. She's all over the shade room. She is going to take us to the next level that Bianca and Jade have gotten us to the next level of bridging that gap between hip hop, sports, and wrestling.
Uh,
This she is one of the single most important stars coming out of NXT right now. Like Lola Vice as well also is another one of those bridging that gap between
yes.
mixed martial arts and wrestling. And with the TKO merger, you of course you're going to see her everywhere. This is a very marketable match because
Mhm.
it covers so many things. This is a big deal. So don't be surprised when it's going viral.
And the other thing about Jada that I think is so impressive is she's kind of at a stage where it's like and don't get carried away with like what the current state is here. But like I'm gonna make this comparison. Early Conor McGregor,
Mm.
where it was like, oh, you turn on the press conference and the microphone, and it's like, oh, she's gonna say whatever she wants to say.
Yeah.
Like
And I
it
think
doesn't matter.
and that fits.
And
She
it was like
should be she
cool. It
should be.
was fleeting for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I got well over McNugget. That's why I call him that. But at least there was that fleeting moment. Jada has that in spades, but also just the stage of her career. This like she can talk to it. She doesn't have to punch laterally. She can punch up because she can out talk anybody above her. And that's something like that's gonna for Jada Parker is it it's unique to her, and I mean that as far as on both the men's and women's side, wrestling wise, right? She can take a microphone in front of somebody that is more accomplished than her and talk them out of that.
Oh, we've seen it. The
Eh,
Roxanne Perez interview
yes.
is like just basically looked at it like, don't piss me off. Which I think, hey, WWE shop. Hold on. WWE shop. Make that a shirt. Don't piss me
Yes.
off. And then just have her picture in the shirt. Don't piss me off. I'm giving y'all the license to press. Do you know how many women are gonna buy that shirt just so they can say "Don't piss me off" to their man or their significant
Yes.
other? Come on, y'all. This
Print
is
it.
money. You're
Put
printing
it
money
on
at
a
this point.
t-shirt.
Jada Parker is a walking bankroll.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. And it's funny because we've praised this women's division for so long. Shoddy, before we go home, I'm gonna ask you about it. I mean, look, Jada Parker, it doesn't get much better on the mic, does it?
nah. Like I said, bro, I think she's got the juice. She's definitely the top woman on the mic right now. You know what I'm saying? She's got it, bro. She's doing some special stuff. And I'm excited for this match that will be done by the time this airs. But I mean, bro, come on, man. Two beautiful women facing off each other that are immensely talented, immensely strong fighters in a, you know, what is this match called again? The
It's an
fake
NXT
UFC
underground.
underground match. Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
NXT
Underground
underground
match.
match.
Not above ground. Under it. Underground. That's going to bring us to the end of the show, though, my friends. Everybody, happy Sunday. We totally appreciate you. I do have to let Dryzzy and Shad know I only drug this out because of the amount of times I've woken up for Sunday Night Spotlight at 6 a.m. I thought I would take you guys to the deep waters of the night over on the East Coast.
Good.
And it's been my scam the entire time.
And send some love out to the first lady, Megan.
But it's all love. First Lady of Wrestling, Megan, of course. I will see her tomorrow for the daily. I'm stoked about that. Everybody check that out.
You will see her
It will be
yesterday.
yesterday. I'm going to see her yesterday for the daily. I forgot this was the Time Machine show. We're really done. I'm Clark. That's Dryzzy and that's Shad. And all of us at Wrestling Republic love you guys. And thank you so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check us out every Sunday. I messed up time. I had a timeline thing, and I forgot that you're not going to see me until yesterday. So everyone will